students are participating at national and international level too. And one more speciality which I would like to mention, there are many, but since we have time restraint, I would like to mention few. That we have designated days for all activities. Say for example, on every Friday, we have got one initiative named Chalo Ananya Baniye, where students, all girls, means we are girls college itself, so all students, they wear Indian dress and they wear chandalo on their forehead, all Friday. On the same day, we have got another initiative named Apnavo Paushtik Nasto, where team of students, different teams every Friday, they prepare nutritious snacks and they demonstrate it and they sell it at 10 to 15 rupees to all students, so that students come to know about alternative snacks they can make on their own. At the same time, on Saturday, Sunday, we have got Vidya Vade, Sauno Uday, where our students, they regularly go to teach GUETA slum children. On every Tuesday, we have got meeting of students' parliament. The whole functioning is run through students' parliament. So every Tuesday, we meet at 55 students plus the coordinator and myself. On every Wednesday, we have got NCC parade. On every Thursday, we have Sabhi Salah Kendra run, and rest of the activities are on Monday. So that is why our full week, full month and whole semester is power packed with activities and so many things happening in the college. Of course, I have to mention that nothing is possible without my team. My team is my strength. My colleagues also, they work very hard to make all initiatives very successful. Friends, NEP 2020 has brought in lot of books, especially among students. They feel that they are blessed to get this opportunity. And that is why here we have to put our best foot forward. And we have to take the steering wheel in our hands. In times of 2020 and in the times of artificial intelligence, when we are teaching Generation Z students, it becomes our responsibility to at least try our level best and set a benchmark in the quality education. Otherwise, it is said that it is perfect in the hands of Creator, but it degenerates in the hands of man. We had got a wonderful opportunity to join hands with GUETA. It was very comfortable working with them, especially with Nitesh Bhai, who is a very pleasing personality, a very intelligent one, who continuously coordinated with us. And I hope you all have a good and memorable experience over here. I once again welcome you all to this national seminar. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Translate this into English. Lead me from the unreal or untruth to the real or truth. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Thus goes the Shanti mantra of Brihad Araniko Disha. And as a symbol of victory of the light of knowledge over the darkness of ignorance, let us all join in lighting of the lamp. I invite all the dignitaries to join in the lighting of the lamp ceremony.
Hare Om. कर्म साक्षीकृत यावत् कर्म समाप्ते तावस्त्वं सुस्थिरो भव शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धे विनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते हरे ॐ महं चन्द्रमा मनसो जातचक्षुः सौर्य अजायत श्रोत्राद्वायुश्च प्राणश्च मुखात् अग्नेरजायत ॐ नाभ्या आशिदन्तरिक्षगो नाभ्या आशिद अन्तरिक्षगो शेषणादोः समवर्तत पदभ्यां भूमिर्दिशोतदा लोकान् अकल्पयन् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिषु शान्तिर्भवतु ॐ नमो दिव्ये महादिव्ये शिवाय सततं नमः नमः प्रकृतिभद्राय नियता प्रणता स्मताम्
Dr. GUETA is the Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University. I invite Principal Dr. Sangeeta Ghate and Dr. Rupal Patel of English Department of Unia College to welcome the Honorable Vice Chancellor with a bouquet and a memento.
सेंटर में कैमरा अलग सेंटर में आ रहा है
Keynote speaker for today is Dr. Gurudat Jaggi, Deputy Director, RQAC Gujarat University. I request Dr. Nitesh Solanki to offer a bouquet and a token of love and affection to Dr. Jaggi. Our special guest today is Shri Dilip Patel. He belongs to the Mani family and has contributed the most in establishing this campus as a chief patron. He is son of the former president, Shri Mansukh Patel of Shri Unia KBC Trust. His inputs and guidance have proved to be a beacon of light in the growth and development of Unia College. I invite Principal Dr. S.N. Iyer to welcome Shri Dilip Bhai, who is also known as Kiran Bhai. Principal Dr. S.N. Iyer is the President of Gujarat University English Teachers Association. I request Principal Dr. Sanjay Vakil to welcome him with flowers. Principal Dr. Sangeeta Ghate has been working relentlessly as a co-host of this seminar. I invite Dr. Vipul Solanki to offer a bouquet to Sangeeta Madam. Vice President of GUETA, Principal Dr. Sanjay Vakil will be offered a floral welcome by Dr. Chetan Joshi. I request Principal Swati Madam to offer a memento to Dr. Gurudat Chappi. I request Ajita Madam to honor Shri Dilip Bhai with a memento.
कर देते हैं ना
Dr. Hitesh Vyas is requested to offer a memento to Principal Dr. Sangeeta Ghate. I request Principal Dr. Vasant Joshi to offer a memento to Dr. Preeti Oja. Dr. S.N. Iyer has been serving as the principal of R.H. Patel Arts and Commerce College since 2006. He was a Secretary General of Gujarat State College Principals Association from 2013 to 2023, and now he is serving as the Vice President of this association. He is also the current President of GUETA and has been a major force in giving voice to the academic and administrative issues. He is the most techno-savvy, dynamic person and the most unassuming principal I have come across. He's a teacher to the core who believes in teaching life lessons through literature. Coming from a family of educators, as both his parents were professors of English, he is interested in making the system of higher education life-oriented and user-friendly. I invite Dr. Iyer to present his opening remarks on this occasion.
On the stage, on the days and after days. A very well-known term, brain drain. You all know, being academicians. Currently, most of the people belonging to the newer generation, the youth, is heading towards abroad and making life there. It's a very risky situation to ask in any group of academicians to raise hands whose kids are abroad, because I think all hands will be raised, and that is showing the skeptical attitude of this. Brain drain is a very difficult term, and today I could experience it because eventually I had to drop one of my friends at the railway station and then pick up Sanjay and come here. So I had to travel there almost the entire city of Ahmedabad, and today I could understand and experience that the entire city was brain drained. I was wondering and then realized that all the brain intelligentsia has gathered here at SCI Highway. And that is why the city is facing brain drain. It's always a matter of great pleasure to talk to the faculties of English. Right? Really, because at least the receptivity level is 100%. The bat is so high that no bowler can bowl a bouncer to the faculty of English. Everything goes into the brain, into the heart, and it does work. So that is the specialty of having the joy of talking to English people. I don't believe in astrology much, but then I at least know that sometimes on some special days, some stars in the constellation gather at a particular place. And then it says that because Buddha is in 7th and Guru is in 8th and this is 9th, then that is considered to be a very auspicious time. Gujarat University and we all faculties are actually experiencing this most auspicious time in our career when Nirja Madam is the principal, is the VC. She has always been a very close friend. She also belongs to our English fraternity and also my fraternity of principals. So this is the best time that you have to exploit the maximum windows of Madam for the betterment of education. She has always shown the inclusive approaches towards all. Her motto is "हम साथ साथ चलेंगे." We have also witnessed many VCs. मैं चलता हूँ, आप देखते रहो. And then after some time, what happens is आप ढूंढते रह जाओगे. But she believes in including all of us and taking all of us together ahead. So that advantage we should always take. One more lucky thing that has happened to our English fraternity is that we have found our होनी को अनहोनी करने और होनी को होनी. जब एक जगह जमा हो तीनों अमर अकबर एंथनी, नितेश भाई, विपुल भाई and वसंत भाई. I request all of you to give a big hand because they are wonderful people. Well, the day any of the syllabi of English language and English literature. Uh, I have been asked to give the opening remarks. Let me frankly tell you, as far as this seminar is concerned and also English NEP is concerned, I have been given the duty of giving the opening remark because I am just like a rapper here. Because always rapper opens up and it's also sparkling. So this sparkle has nothing to do with the quality of the work because they are the real heroes of the task. Sangeeta madam, Rishi bhai, Dimant bhai, Bhakti madam, and our local Rupal men, all of have really worked wonders, and I extend my thanks from GUETA to all. NEP, National Education Policy, which is being introduced, and it's a great challenge for us, especially when our own Vice Chancellor is from the English faculty. We should see that she should not be disheartened or disappointed at any stage due to our disinterestedness. We have to work very hard. The duty of English faculty is highest because the actual situation is such that English faculties can teach everything and others cannot teach English. Of course, Sangeeta madam's English is very good. I felt when Ruti madam was there, Ruti madam, Sangeeta madam, and Ruta madam, all three were there. It was like GPS, global position system, and the entire practice ground. So, it's a great challenge. And you see, introducing any new educational policy is just like performing a cardiac surgery. Performing a surgery on hand or foot is quite easy because you can just make that part numb, give an anesthesia and do anything what you like. But it is a cardiac surgery in which you have to see that the heart keeps pumping and yet you are repairing it. Same is with education. You see, the last student of the old education policy deserves the equally exact justice as the first student of new education policy. So we have to cater to the needs of both the classes. So take into consideration all these things. Whenever anything is introduced in India, that is called, we have a Rama principle. Rama principle means four aspects. Rama are resistance. Whenever anything new comes, we all will resist. Why there is a record of new? As Rupal madam, I think Shipa madam said, old order changes being placed to new, and the next is and God fulfills himself in many ways. So we know that it is the existence of God that wants such change. So resistance is there, then aggression. Next stage, we become aggressive. But then we realize that this is not wrong. We become moderate and then accept. So this Rama principle will work here also, and we shall easily accept this new education policy. Of course, I do agree that there has been some mistakes in implementing this policy by the state government because generally whenever a car model is being introduced, all mechanics are trained, and here the mechanics are not trained, but then we have gathered all mechanics here to understand all the parts of this new car, and we all will be trained today, and this benefit will reach to our students, I am quite sure. And now when Hindi is to be taught, you say no, now I don't know anymore. This is not proper. You will have to support the system. We all will have to support the system. We all will have to support the system and strengthen the system. We should have trust and faith in the system that it is going to work well. Today we are having a very extensive session of all clearing all doubts, and this session for GUETA. GUETA is, madam, one of the most live association and on all subjects. It's a live website, everything is just going live, so that's an advantage that we are having, and credit goes to Nitesh who is really updating everything. So finally I would say that we are going to have a nice time, a very productive time, a very fruitful time today, and I should thank Sangeeta and her team. Extremely, I am thankful to her and the team, because you see, there are some technical issues I have also faced in my college. Whenever in our college we organize a program of a particular subject, what happens is that all other faculties have to work hard. We have experience with Sanskrit, we had a seminar on Sanskrit, and all faculties had to work hard for that seminar. But then we were not able to give even a token gift to the other faculties due to the constraints of the association and we as the host college. So we should thank all the faculties of this college, the staff who have made this event so successful. Sangeeta Madam of course deserves this treasure, and what I have learned in my life is that people forget what you say to them, people forget what you do for them, but people will never forget what you have made them feel. They have, the entire team has made us feel so homely. So I once again thank them all, and this experience, this stay here for one day is going to be cherished all through our life. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Edgar sir. I am happy to share with you all here this morning that due to the vision and efforts of Dr. Nitesh Solanki, this whole session is going live on YouTube channel, GUETA YouTube channel. Moving over to the next part of the inaugural session. The newly appointed Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, Dr. Nirja Gupta, holds the distinction of being the first woman Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University. Prior to this esteemed position, she served as Vice Chancellor of Sanchi University of Buddhic Indic Studies in Madhya Pradesh. She also served as a principal of Bhavan's RA College of Arts and Commerce for more than a decade. Dr. Nirja Gupta served as a coordinator of study abroad program and Diaspora Research Center, Gujarat University. She's a true polyglot. She knows 9 languages, which is very impressive. I invite Dr. Nirja Gupta, Vice Chancellor, to deliver her presidential address.
So we don't need introduction in our own home. Sadar Vandan, Namaste, good morning. The president of this session, trustee of this prestigious college, Adarniya Dilip Patel sir, President GUETA and a good friend, Professor Iyer sir, principal of this college, Dr. Sangeeta ma'am. Of course, you are friends, so don't miss that word. The Vice President, Professor Dr. Sanjay Vakil, Gurga Japiji, who is part and parcel of not only national education policy but the very, very prestigious IQAC at Gujarat University, and I know each one of your names. So pardon me for not taking the names and utilizing that time for something else, and Preeti ma'am, thank you for coming here. It's a pleasure and honor to stand here to share the GUETA stage. Iyer sir, I had to take a long route to come here because GUETA never invited me earlier. So I think at our own home we can, say our grievances also. Why not? Anyway, this is in the light of it. Well, I will stick to the topic, and that is national education policy. But to jump to 2020, we have to travel back into the histories. If you reach as back as 1823, then it was very clear that there was one Thomas Munro, and if you read that, if you read the report, Munro says that there is between 97 to 100% of education in India. When we say 97% to 100%, that of course means women. And it doesn't say literacy, that is how to read and write. It says education, and that is available in the gadgets. So they were quite nervous how this country would be ruled if this is the level of education in India. And till 1837, you go back to Vedas, you go back to Manusmriti, you go to Chanakya, you go to Mahabharata, there are mantralaya, ministries. And there are several ministries. Some scriptures say 16 departments, some say 18 departments, some say 27 mantralaya. Not even one is scripture or kingdom. Whether you look at the big kingdoms like Lalitaditya or Vijayanagaram or Ashoka the Great, when big universities were there, not even one place we will find Shiksha Mantralaya. Education was never ever held by the king. It was only the society. So when only the society was running education, we were 100% literacy. In 1837, for the first time, the British government said, we will give you 1 lakh rupees, you work for us. In 1947, when we became free, our education rate came down to 4%. In just 100 years, from 97% to 4% was our literacy rate when we got free. This becomes when the state rules the education. We were never to pay fees. The students never paid fees. Why? Because the gurus were known for their disciplines. So one student was free to take education from as many as 42 gurus at the same time. Abhinav Gupta is the example. He has produced the maximum numbers of books as commentator, as author, as a scholar, and they created disciplines. Why? Because gurus were allowed to rise vertically. There was no dearth of the education or the gyan that guru can earn, and no dearth or limitation to what guru can give. We are all product of state granted education. It is being granted to us. So not only money is granted, but the scope is also granted. So we limit ourselves saying we are English teachers. When we say we are English teachers, we were not allowed to even go to our somewhere like languages department. The other languages are also taken away from us. Thanks to national education policy, today English teacher can enter into any class or any discipline or any work field. We are gaining back our freedoms. I am not happy with only Shakespeare and Milton and Spencer. I am not happy with Afro-American and Austro-Canadian. Why? This is Bharat. Okay, India, that is Bharat. Right? So why we are deprived of that, which has been our legacy, where we have reduced to as a higher education institute? And I am repeating, I might have said this to another platform also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pointers. 1 डिग्री, 2 बच्चे, 3 कमरों का मकान, 4 पहियों की गाड़ी, 5 शून्य की तनख्वाह. गौरव नहीं, संस्कार नहीं, संस्कृति नहीं. Go around the city whenever the private institutes are just about to open their admissions. You will always find a banner. What is the banner? 100% job guarantee. You have not even given the admission. And you are giving 100% job guarantee. Why? Because that 1 lakh rupee was given only to create Naukri. They wanted the educational institutions to bring out the servants. And even today, we are creating servants. We ourselves we are all servants, government servants. Is this education only to create Naukri? No government, I tell you, entire globe, no government can give you 100% jobs. We were never a job-oriented society. Job was never a government or state's responsibility. It was only the society who will tell the people what type of people you know, and the gurus were preparing that what the society needed. With national education policy, we are going back to Atma Samman. नौकरी नहीं करनी है, अपना काम करके देने वाला हाथ बनना है, मांगने वाला नहीं. And I tell you, the day we could inculcate this, all these so-called vishamataye, discrepancies in the society, SC, ST, OBC, reservation, for what they are fighting? For those 2% government jobs. No other place has reservation. Why should there be reservation only for those government jobs? If there is no seeker of those so-called government jobs, what will happen? They are all free. We were never ever the divided society. We had Shudra kingdoms, we have all those of Charan kingdoms, and we know that. They were the kings, they were the rulers. The Karna was a Sud Putra who was the king of Andhra Pradesh. You know, we never had those discrepancies in our minds. But what has happened? We have alienated ourselves from the society so much that we think that higher education is only to produce more and more and more packages. So the newspapers also cover that which institute has been able to bag what type of packages. But we don't want to tell what type of quality of human being are being produced by these institutes. And the dilemma today we are facing about the so-called grant-in-aid courses and HPP courses is something like a divide between India and Bharat. I'm very frank about it because in 1947 we had that choice. What do we want to become? Do we want to become Bharati or do we want to become Indian? And unfortunately we chose to become Indian. So we decided that anything that is Bharat should remain Garib. So all the roads, all the colleges, all the hospitals, all the facilities will be developed in the cities and the villages don't need it. Someone has decided there should not be colleges in the villages, there should not be hospitals in the villages, there should not be roads in the villages. Why? This syndrome of being Babu. On 15th August 1947, when all these midnight children born, you know, Madhyaratre Azadi. So at least I call them midnight children. When they were born, what happened? Anything, you know, entire official fraternity, whether they were clerks or peons or government officers, till 15th August, 11 o'clock, they were working for Britishers, and in 1 hour they started working for India. There was no change at all, the same people. How would you think they would stop working for Bharat. They were working for India. So they continued to work for India till date. They are working for India. Anyone who is a government officer is so delineated from the needs of the society. This is a chance for all of us. We are the luckiest enough because we have seen the numbers of transitions. See, look at the journey. We started with chalk and talk, and it came to OHP, and then it came to PPT, and then it came to online, and now national. We are the transformers, and we are going away to one era where we are not needed in the classrooms. National education policies doesn't need teachers in the classrooms because we can't create that much of infrastructure. So this syndrome that only those who are going to attend the college daily are the educated is soon going to be dissolved. We can be educated while working in the fields, while doing the mechanism with our skills, while doing any other household works, we are still being called educated. So please move out from your classrooms. Come out of the classrooms. They are not needed anymore. Syllabus is not needed anymore, so stop using the word syllabus puru thegiyuji. Nathavalu. Now, there is no syllabus now. Move on from one thing to another, and this will again give us a chance to rise vertically. So what if I am known as an English teacher, if I can teach Natya Shastra, so I should be known for Natya Shastra. So we must acquire this opportunity to move into that students' fraternity and tell them that you have to live for life and not for a naukri. Till we don't bring them out of this naukri syndrome, our youth is going to be in dilemma. India is the youngest country, but not always India was a strong country, but we are today. Just yesterday only we have given away our presidency in G20. Our Honorable Prime Minister, sir, when we took over the G20 presidency, if you remember, he presented a white horse to the outgoing president in Indonesia. What is that white horse? If you decode it, this white horse, Shwet Ashwat, was released for Ashwamedh Yagya to become the Chakravarti. So we are moving away now on the road to become Chakravarti. Our youth will not be failed in your hands. Our aspirations, orientation, workshops or no workshops, books or no books, you are equipped enough, your experience is enough to go and take your discipline to that level that even if you are teaching Hindi, they have to read English. Make them aware. The comparisons, the translations, the nuances, the citations, the references, nothing will go waste. As we say, no akshar is wasted in this world. So once again, I compliment Sangeeta Bell for organizing this. My good wishes to GUETA. This is my own fraternity, and I'm sure the English people, as they have been the crowning glory of their colleges for each and every part of their own feats, whether it is NEP or whether it is IQAC or whether it is any seminar, it's been without even thinking once it's given to the Department of English. Similarly, this NEP will be carried on with pride and with success in your hands. So good wishes, thank you so much, and I again send my comments.
Thank you, Nirja Madam, for your inspiring words. I would like to mention here that as chief patron of this seminar, Shri Kiran Bhai has donated generously for the success of this seminar, and GUETA extends a heartfelt thanks to Dilip Bhai. He has requested that he would like to be excused from taking the mic. So let us move on with the keynote speaker now. Dr. Gurudat Jappi is the keynote speaker, and he's currently working as head of the department at Department of Advanced Business Studies, and he's also Deputy Director IQAC, Gujarat University. He's also working as coordinator of Pragyapitham UPSC Center of Gujarat University. Prior to this, he was appointed as Director and Joint CEO of Quality Assurance, Extension, Research and Innovation, and Nodal Officer of RUSA at KCG. He holds a number of degrees. Like if I mention the degrees, it will take more than 5 minutes, so I'm just skipping that part. He has published a number of books, and he's the chief editor of 14 international journals. So we are delighted to have such a luminary person as the keynote speaker, and I invite Dr. Gurudat Jappi to deliver his keynote address. The topic is shaping the future of higher education through NEP.
Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, Dr. Mirzanu, the President of this institution, Dilip Bhai, the President of GUETA, Dr. Iyer, my dear friend Dr. Jappi, the Principal of Udia College, Dr. Sangeeta Bhai, Dr. Priti, who has come from Mumbai especially for us, and my dear friends. In February 2020, in the international conference at Nagpur, when I was sharing the stage with the President of New Education Policy, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, at that time he spoke about the general things of national education policy, and he was of the opinion that there would be some resentment when new education policy implements. Of course, there are many issues, but I think today in this seminar, so far as English teacher is concerned, I think there won't be any issue at the end of the seminar. I am really Rizwanul for accepting our invitation. I am really thankful to this trust particularly, because before 6 or 7 years I came here for NEP seminar, and Dr. Chindere was the keynote speaker. At that time also it was really a very good seminar organized by this trust. So I am thankful to Dr. Sangeeta Bhai for accepting our invitation. I am thankful to Dr. Jappi. I think Rizwan is the right person of the coordinator of IQAC in Gujarat University. As and when Gujarat University will go for NEP accreditation, I am sure that Gujarat University will get A++ grade. Because we know the capacity of Dr. Jappi. He has been doing hard work since long time. I am thankful to Priti. Just Dr. Jappi was giving me the introduction of Priti on GAP WhatsApp group. I think you are very active, and just I saw you for the first time. But she has been doing very good work for not for only English department or for any NEP, but in general also she is doing a very good job for in the field of higher education. I am really thankful to this trinity, Solanki Sahib, Vipul Bhai and Joshi Sahib. These three professors are so active that they are really worried about not for only English department but in general also. So far as Common Act is concerned, so far as NEP is concerned, they are always doing something concrete for the higher education. So really, we are thankful to them also, and I am thankful to all of you for attending this digital seminar. Thank you all.
पॉज नहीं होता क्या
Hello friends, this is not a break. Keynote, let us see about the keynote address. So please be here. Thank you.
I am already scared of you. And all the dignitaries made sure that I should be doubly scared. I'll tell you why I am scared, because the first slap I was gifted by English teacher in class 2 when I failed to answer correctly the spelling of neighbor. And it's like justice, contemporary speakers, unfavorably past jams. As the accounting professor, because I am a man of numbers, not a man of language. So as accounting professor, I am sure you will pardon me for not meeting the requirements of the past speakers or the past jams. I am here because I have back-to-back 2 sessions with you. The first is the keynote address wherein I am going to talk about the future or shaping the futures of higher education with the help of NEP. And secondly, I am going to talk about the technical part, which is more of my nature. So let me start with the first one. Let me share with you one most important thing. I guess we should wait for a couple of minutes to settle down. Okay. So the first one on the current higher education system and how it is going to shape the future of higher education with the help of NEP, National Education Policy. If you look at here, Industrial Revolution was started way back in 1800 or in 18th century. a concept which was introduced called Industry 1.2, Industry 2.0, Industry 3.2, and then Industry. We are right now in Industry 4.0. That is the fourth generation. Way back started somewhere in 18th century. The aliens for you guys. She's from economics and I am from accounting. But our main idea is to create some academic discomfort for you. So I hope after 45 or 50 minutes of time, I'll be able to create some pinch of discomfortness for you. Okay, so if you look at here, Industry 1.2, 1, 2, and 3, they produce a series of blue-collar jobs and white-collar jobs. I'm of the opinion that education has nothing to do with creating jobs. I'm against that. As far as higher education is concerned, the core purpose, the only purpose is to make students think creatively, comprehensively, and deeply. But because of the ranking frameworks, because of the accreditation, we are always running after the employment, the numbers, and all. We are always trying to quantify the entire system. And therefore, a lot of issues and problems are happening. But anyways, if we keep this current scenario in mind, one thing is very clear that now blue collar jobs and white collar jobs are chipping away by the computers and artificial intelligence. So you won't find now all blue collar jobs which we used to find somewhere in the 19th century and the 20th century. Because now everything is done by computers and AI softwares. So now the first and fundamental question that for what purpose we are going to train our student? What will be the requirement of the jobs in the market after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of time? So what will be the scenario of employability? Who will be appointed? Which skills will be appointed? So there is a common consensus coming up that now there will be a requirement of green collar job. There will be a requirement of green collar job. Now what do you mean by green collar job? So green collar job is associated with more of thinking job, reflexing jobs, questioning jobs, kind of. Because I don't know how many of you have operated Google search engine, right? What you do, you write something on Google search engine to find the outcome. Similarly, when you operate any artificial intelligence tool, the primary requirement is to write down one simple prompting, a question, and customize answer for it, whether it's a chat. So one thing is very clear, that now onwards you have to make your students for the green collar job and not for the blue collar job. Blue collar job is for the repetition, white collar job is for taking the decision, and everything is done by now computers. So make sure that if your student is failed to raise a question, if they fail to think with a reflexive mind, so we are not serving a correct way to our students, right? So that is what the first thing I would like to share with you. So blue collar job, next. This is a white collar job, next it's a green collar job. So be ready for this kind of jobs. Now you'll ask me a question. Then what we are supposed to do if we are focusing on this green collar jobs? I'll come to that point. Next. We have to come out of these issues. The biggest challenge for the problem solving skills are this all. And a couple of them I like most. That is the willful blindness, and second is the bounded rationality. We have to work on all these points, right? And somehow, this is my, I guess, 100th session I'm delivering on new education policy. And I've seen that whenever it comes to something new, we hesitate. We hesitate a lot to implement because of many reasons. But these are the primary reasons for it. So please make sure that when you are imparting education to your students, make sure that any of this are not becoming hurdle for you. Next. Today's higher education is focusing only on three things. The first is degree. The second is further education, which you'll find that it's not higher education, it's further education. So those who are completing BA, they'll go for MA. Those who complete MA, they go MPhil, now MPhil is over. Complete MPhil, they go for PhD, and after PhD, they search for something which they never get. So the point is, we are limited our current higher education system to these three things. We always talk about degree, we always talk about employability, we always talk about the further education. But now, the future of higher education talks about these four things. That is innovation, skills, human-centric approach, and technology speed. So if any of this is not a part of your institution, then it is for important issues in your education institution. Next. This is very important point, transformation. Man was also talking about the concept of transformation. So again, you have to understand this in detail. What is the difference between transformation and optimization? So let me tell you that optimization helps you to improve, right? And if we talk about the first, second, and third education policy, wherein we have focused a lot on the optimization part. But now it is an era of transformation. Transformation is what? Wherein we focus on the core competencies. Transformation helps you to deal with the disruption, and that is what has happened here, right? Many of us were, not comfortable for the first time or second time or many successive times operating Zoom applications or Google Meet application. We call to the organizer, then we say, like this kind of experience, right? Transformation. So we have to be now ready for this discipline. It's not new. It's not new. We have heard about all these words, and this was introduced somewhere in 1950. And I've seen that most of the faculty members, not from your faculty, not from your department, but from across the disciplines, I've seen that they are not ready to accept a subject which is beyond their discipline. Which is beyond their discipline. It's not with you, it's with everyone. Even in our department, accountancy professor is not ready to teach management. Even in management department, the professor is not ready to teach accountancy. And this is what is happening everywhere. I got a call from different college principals that one of our faculty member is not trained for Indian knowledge system. So is he going to teach that Indian knowledge system syllabi or what? So I used to say, yeah, he can be allowed. Earlier it was not allowed, but now I have to be a little bit flexible. So anyways, so when I talk about a discipline, this is not new. We are looking at two words right now: multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. Specialization has been discussed with intellectual cooperation and the cross-fertilization of higher education is the old concept. It was introduced in somewhere 1950. The concept of multi and inter and a-discipline, transdiscipline, everything. Now let me tell you one thing, that China has introduced a concept called Zongyong. Zongyong is nothing but a doctrine of need, which means they came with three wonderful words called Boksu, Boshi and Bao. Means they are also has to be a broad scholar. Broad scholar means he should understand more than one discipline, more than one subject. So he should be a broad scholar. Broad study should be encouraged, and there has our students be a broad discipline in higher education institution. It's okay. It's okay. And therefore, I this concept of introduced, and therefore the subject of this interdisciplinary is introduced. There are a lot of confusion for part of border studies, and request them to please pay attention to this the important topic, that when you are designing a syllabus of multidisciplinary subjects, make sure it is a multidisciplinary and not interdisciplinary. And when you are designing a syllabus of interdisciplinary, make sure it is of interdisciplinary and not interdisciplinary. Yeah. Yes, this is one again important thing.
Pedagogy.
Always English na professor coffee with a lecture. हमारा account वाला लागे हो है ऊपर. Beta, you can serve me also. I can have the same.
Please come.
I'm just kidding. It's okay. Teacher, no? Teacher. If you don't mind, I don't mind.
इधर क्यों जा रहा है? हाँ घुमा ले, ऐसे दोनों बैलेंस कर आप थोड़ा एकदम ऐसा एज का कहाँ चलेगा बस नहीं देखिए सर सर जाके बोल के चिल्ला
मेरा एंगल बदल बस देखा है
हल्का सा थोड़ा सा ओके डन
Okay. Apology for the inconvenience. Yes. So, pedagogy. change for education institution, and that is, we keep writing this to all our documents, whether it's a NAP document, ISO document, we keep writing this word pedagogy. Pedagogy. Pardon me if my pronunciation is wrong. So we keep writing this pedagogy everywhere. But you have to understand that pedagogy is used only when you are talking about the dependent learners. I just said before 5-10 minutes that we are no longer sage on the stage. And therefore, those students who are learning from us, they are not dependent on us. They are not at all dependent learners. And they are all independent learners. And therefore, you have to keep one thing in mind, that now onwards, you will have to incorporate these two different words in your system. That is eudagogy and andragogy. Eudagogy and andragogy is for the adult learners, is for those who are not dependent on you. It is for the independent learners. And as you are aware, that most of the students are not dependent on us. Those who are studying in engineering or medical professions, they are all dependent learners. But as far as BA, BCom and BSc is concerned, they are not so dependent on us. They are all independent learners. So make sure that whenever you are going for NEP, write down and put it on your corridor or paste it on your corridor, the pedagogical aspect of the education or the pedagogical andragogy subject. Now what is this eudagogy and andragogy? We'll come to this point later. One more thing I would like to share, that all of you are aware with the concept called epistemology. Right? But again, there is a little change in this concept called epistemology. Epistemology, we talk about how we learn, what we learn and all. So learning, when we say knowledge is limited. I repeat, knowledge is limited and ignorance is unlimited. Knowledge is finite and ignorance is infinite. And therefore, we have to now incorporate a term called agnotology. We have to find out the area of ignorance. What we do in our college, what we do in our institution, we talk about what and how. We always talk about what it is and we always talk about how it is. But we never talk about the area of ignorance. We never talk about why and why not. And therefore, you have to keep in mind that now onwards you will incorporate a concept called agnotology in your syllabi or in your activity, whatever activity you are doing at college. The research has not taken place or where the discourse has not taken place. Next. So this is what epistemology versus agnotology. Start practicing agnotology at your college. Next. Yeah, so Japan is the first country to practice this concept of agnotology, and they have already introduced a concept of discipline of learning. Discipline of learning means learning how to learn, how to relearn, and how to unlearn. That is what the discipline of learning is. I'm sure that all of you have written a book called Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. How many of you have read this book? Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. Alvin Toffler, the great guy, has written 3 books: Power Shift, Future Shock, and Third Wave. And in Future Shock, he talked about 3 things related to learning. Learning to make choice, learning to relate, and learning to take decisions. So again, back to this concept of learning, we should try to incorporate what is to learn, how to learn, and why to learn. The concept called agnotology. Next. Next. Okay. I was just talking about with Madam that what new education policy is offering to us. If you look at it, they are talking about 5 issues. One is the technological development, one is the MOOC courses, one is Indian knowledge system, one is the multi-education, multidisciplinary education and interdisciplinary education, and one is academic bank of credits. So these are the national education policy 2020. Now when we say what is our role as a role of a teacher, what is our role, what we are going to do now? Our role is limited to teaching only? Bandhiya sahab? No. So we have developed a model called TARAL, T-A-R-A-L, where we talk about 5 important things. T stands for teaching, A stands for administration, R stands for advisory. It is not there. Next. This one. So T stands for teaching, A stands for administration, R stands for research, A stands for advisory, and L stands for learning. So we'll have to make sure that those who are principal, they have to make sure that your teachers are having these all 5 with them. You'll have to make sure in your diary, the teaching diary, that all these components are incorporated. What amount of time teacher is spending after teaching, what amount of time teacher is spending after administration work, what amount of teacher is spending after research work, administration work, and learning. And learning doesn't mean to read a couple of books. Learning means to acquire a new skill, to learn a new subject. So as a teacher of English, you should acquire a skill of learning a different subjects. Okay. Just a minute. Few more challenges which we are going to face. The first challenge is related to outcome-based education. There is a difference between output-based education and outcome-based education. Output talks about output talks about marks, percentage, grades, and all. Outcome talks about the competencies which you have developed in the students. And in national education policy also, they have emphasized on the outcome part and not on the output part. Graduate outcomes, and there is a separate department which is established to measure the outcome of the students. So now the point is how you will measure the outcome-based education, or how you will make sure in your institution that this is a way we are going to measure the outcome-based education. I've seen in many of the colleges they follow Bloom's taxonomy. Now Bloom's taxonomy is again outdated taxonomy. Taxonomy is simple classification. It's basically a word which is derived from the science. In science they have a classification for different terms. So this is nothing, these taxonomies are nothing but it's a classifications of the learning outcome. And when we say classification of the learning outcome, we categorize it in certain levels. We categorize it in 6 to 7 levels. Again remember that Bloom's taxonomy, whether it's a revised taxonomy or the first taxonomy, is outdated. Now you will have to focus on the other 3 taxonomies. The first is called solo taxonomy, the second is called Fink's taxonomy, and third one is the 6 facets of learning. You will have to make sure that which taxonomy is more relevant to your institutions, because we are living in a plural society. I will not say that this particular system is applicable to all. Right? We are not living in one country, we are living in one continent, having more than 30 different countries. So we have to practice the concept of plurality. I just cannot say that this particular concept is applicable to all colleges. You have different problems, you have different issues, so you have to incorporate according to your problems and issues. And therefore, when you are applying the taxonomy, make sure which taxonomy is more appropriate to your institution. When I say Finn's taxonomy, it has a concept of human dimension. It has a concept of ethical or ethics of caring. And therefore, what BSc college or BCA colleges, technical colleges, they should try to incorporate solo taxonomy. Solo taxonomy is based on the structure of observed learning outcome, means it is based on the complexities of the subject. So when there is a complexity of the subject, you have to follow solo taxonomy. So make sure today itself or after tomorrow, those who are faculty members, go and discuss this issue with your principals, and make sure that whatever amount of syllabus you have introduced in your college, you are trying to evaluate your students, you are trying to know the competencies of the students, keeping in mind these different levels of taxonomies. Next. Yeah, there's one more. Go back. Okay. There are a couple of more things which you have to keep in mind. Is about the transdisciplinary research. I am sure that many of you are a researcher also, and you are applying to certain research agencies for the projects. Even KCG is also giving fellowship, short fellowship. And there are many agencies in India who are giving scholarships to the faculty members or the PhD scholars. And many of you must be having PhD scholars who are working under your guidance. So make sure when you are designing the proposal, that proposal has to have the transdisciplinary information or the transdisciplinary nature. Now what do you mean by this transdisciplinary? So unless and until you are not having the idea of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, you will not be able to create a proposal for the transdisciplinary research. Transdisciplinary research wherein you have to integrate more than 3-4 disciplines, and you have to make sure that the title, the research problem which you are addressing is focusing on the public problems, is focusing on the public issues. And that is what the need of all the research funding agencies across India now. So if you are applying to UGC, if you are applying to ICSSR, if you are applying to ICPR, if you are applying to ICHR, they will make sure that if your title, if your research problem is not of transdisciplinary, then you will be rejected. Your proposal will be rejected. And therefore, it is high time to understand this concept of multi, inter, and trans. Okay. Next. There is one more thing which I would like to share here. Quotient. Quotient is again a term which is derived from science. I'll give you a practical example also. We all are suffering from partial attention deficit syndrome. So it's we all. So getting 100% of attention, you cannot expect from your wife or of your husband. Not possible. So how can you expect this from your student? That they will be 100% attentive to you. So this is one of the biggest challenge, the partial attention, and that has come because of. So I was talking about the quotient concept. Quotient is a peculiar characteristic or a valuable characteristic which you can have in you or which you can inculcate in your student. Now quotient has been, changing since long. Means when I talk about a stone age, when I talk about ice age, tribal age, agrarian age, during those ages, Brown's quotient was respected by the people. Brown quotient is related to the masculinity. So people used to respect those who are having the strong masculinity power. So masculinity was a power, power was masculinity. And therefore we had wonderful examples of Hanuman Lala, we have wonderful examples of He-Man, Superman, all masculine personalities. Then industrial age came. During industrial age, this quotient was changed. The same man with a masculinity was sitting outside the office, and a lean man sitting inside the office, but he was having intelligence. And therefore, the Brown's quotient was changed to intelligent quotient, IQ. So BQ replaced with IQ. Then slowly, gradually, after industrial age, the information age came. And in information age, we have witnessed a lot of social media, internet, information flowing and all. And therefore, this intelligence quotient was again changed with the emotional quotient. People started hiring those who have emotions, who have knowledge of emotions. Even we cannot control emotions. If something goes wrong with your faculty members or with your colleagues, you immediately post on your status. You put it on the status, a lot of things. Sometimes you are sunofying to somebody by putting it on a status. Isn't it? Emotional quotient, where people used to respect those who have idea of emotion. If what will be most likable things if we put it on the social media? Who will share the things? Who will understand the emotions? How it will be addressed, etc., etc. Now we are coming to the age of ignorance. We are again coming back to the age of entrepreneurship, wherein there are two quotients which we are looking for, and that two quotients are passion quotient and digital quotient. So you will have to make sure in your college and institution that your students must learn these two intelligence. The first is the digital intelligence, digital quotient, and the second, because mark my words, future will be very, very bad if people will lose a control over these digital equipments, and it will become the, what you say, a big enemy to the human. Okay, next. 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 Yes. So, if you recollect your memory, if you have read the draft guidelines of the National Education Policy, or if you have referred the SOP, Standard Operating Procedure given by Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat, wherein they have focused more on the online courses, they have focused more on the digital courses. The problem with us is, right now we are trying to, balance our lectures, and we are trying to make sure that apne surplus na thai jaye. So our entire focus is in this only. But you do not understand the other side of the horizon, wherein you will have to start developing online courses for your student, and that will be counted as your workload. Means freedom, flexibility and choice. This trial is for students, not for us. I repeat, freedom, flexibility and choice is the three pillars of national education policy. But the point, the harsh part of this is, we are enjoying these three things: freedom of giving the subjects to the students, flexibility of giving subjects to the student. Even we are choosing which subjects to be offered to the students. No. A student will be given a freedom. A student will decide, he or she will decide which subject, which course he or she would like to learn. Not you. Not as a principal, not as a teacher. And therefore, it can be a 30, minimum 20 number of students are required for one particular course to be offered. So it can be 30, it can be 40, it can be 50. But give them. In case, sir, now this is very important. In case if you are not finding a student for a particular course, then what to do? You can apply to the MOOC courses, number one. You can have a studio inside your college and start recording the lectures for the students, and that can be very much part of the syllabus. Because Gujarat University is offering, and you can make this for the future students. So the point is, I'm going to discuss a few things about the FBIT designing also. But make sure that in your college, there has to be one studio, a complete studio, wherein your faculty members round the clock recording the sessions, recording the video lectures, recording different certificate courses. Because now onwards, in future, there will not be any existence of affiliation. UGC has clearly mentioned in the report, in the guidelines, that there will be 3 kinds of institutions: teaching university, research university, and autonomous colleges. So they are coming up with a concept called phasing out the grading pattern. So there will not be any gradation, or there will not be any affiliation with the colleges. There will be all autonomous colleges. Will be given complete freedom, complete academic autonomy, and there will be teaching university and research universities only. So if your college has completed 3 cycles, please go for autonomy. Otherwise, later on you will have to go. અત્યારથી જેવું સારું વકીલ સાહેબ ના જોશો. And therefore, તમને ખ્યાલ હશે, you must be having this knowledge of missed out on teachers training. And therefore at Gujarat University also we have organized one workshop on Indian knowledge system. And we are going to continue with this Indian knowledge system workshop. Because a teacher cannot teach without knowing. સાહેબે કીધું કે ઇંગ્લિશના પ્રોફેસર કંઈ પણ ભણાવી શકે. I agree with it. But unless and until you are not having a proper therefore teachers training is must. And now we will be, like IQSC or any other department of the university is going to have a continuous training on these issues. That is a TPAC. Technology, Pedagogical, Content, Knowledge. Now you will immediately counter me as an English professor. So you were talking about pedagogy is outdated, and now wow, you are talking about pedagogy over here. Pedagogy is for the dependent learner, right? But when it comes to technology pedagogy, it is the first generation, and therefore pedagogy word is used. So it is not limited to one word only. It is technology pedagogy, technology content, pedagogical content, and there are 6 other points. If you look closely to this diagram, you find that there are 9 types of circles which we are going to address. And make sure, if you want to survive, those who are young faculties, if you want to survive in coming higher future, next coming higher education system, make sure that you have updated yourself with the technology, you have updated yourself with the technological pedagogy, you have updated yourself with the technological content. If you fail to design, develop this alone, you will have to face a lot of problems in future. Mark my words. We are no longer sage on the stage. So design, develop and put it on your website, institution website. Sell your courses. And there are many professors who are doing this. Design a course, sell it off. Okay. The next, I was talking about FBLD, Flip Blended Learning Design Template. I don't know how many of you have seen the syllabus of the, except like your syllabus and your other subject syllabus. How many of you have seen? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all principals have raised their hand. So of course by compulsion they have to. Okay. If you look at our syllabus of commerce, you will find that one word we have set in the syllabus, and that word is FBLD. As I said, Flip Blended Learning Design Template. So what is this? Ichha the એટલે નથી મૂક્યું. The point of keeping this in the syllabus is UGC has recommended all the university to incorporate 40% of the syllabus in an online mode. And therefore, you have to make a provision in your syllabus that 40% of the syllabus will be offering in an online mode. Now how? So right now we'll have to depend highly on the MOOC courses which are there on the UGC website or SWAYAM portal. And what we are doing, we are copying, pasting the links from the SWAYAM and we are putting in our syllabus. Because right now we do not have, as a university we do not have. And we cannot offer the online course of some other institutions. Other means which are not recognized by the UGC. So private I am talking about. So I cannot put a link of Udemy or I cannot put a link of Coursera or edX or Audacity or any. No. So now onwards, if you can plan for the second semester, third semester, even for the 8th semester, think that which course you want to offer, design it, develop it and put it and give it to us also. We will put it on the website. We will incorporate your syllabus on the website. We'll use your link on the website, and all freedom is given. You can design it in English language, Hindi language, Gujarati language, any language. The government is promoting all the vernacular and regional languages also. And therefore, you see here, next. This is what we are doing in FBLD template. You have to focus on the scope of each FBLD. Means a 1 unit student will learn on online mode, or 1 topic student will learn on online mode, 2 units, 3 units, how many. But you have to make sure that only 40% you can take, not more than 40%. So if you have 4 units, then you can calculate 40% of the 4 unit comes to 1.6. So 1.6 unit you can offer maximum in an online mode. Right? Okay, next. So now what is expected from the institution? નીતિશભાઈ કહેજો મારો સમય પૂરો થાય તો સ્લાઇડ 81 I'm on 38. So anyways, okay. So now you will have to make sure your IQS of the institution will have to make sure that you are putting stress more on the borderless education, you are putting more stress on the shorter courses, the shorter effective courses, the shorter skill-based courses, and make sure that shorter courses must have 30 hours of training. 30 hours. Less than 30 hours, it will not be counted as a course. Okay? Then digital natives cohorts. Madam was also talking about Z learners, Generation Z, Generation X, Generation Y. We all are digital immigrants, right? We all are digital immigrants. We have learned the digital equipments. But digital natives, they are born digital. So they are more smarter than us as far as digital is concerned, digital knowledge is concerned. And therefore you have to keep a lot of cohorts on by the digital natives. Then experiential learnings, lifelong learning, learning from everywhere, replacing lectures with activity, and most important, formative assessment. I'm going to discuss this in my post-lunch session. Please do not rely on assignments. Please. I have seen in one of the cohort that somebody is talking about the assignments only. That will give 3 marks for assignments, or 6 marks for assignments, or 5 marks for assignment. There is no learning in assignment, please. So again, you are making your all students dogmatic. Please. We are living in an era, digital era, where in this kind of, you can use some digital tools to give the assignment. Like Padlet is wonderful too. Padlet can be offered, and you can innovate. You can research different kinds of tools which are available online, and on that you can give some assignments to them so that they can learn some different things. Assignments. So please, it's a national waste of time, money, and energy. So formative assessment. I mean to say, now you have to make sure that you have more and more formative assessment and less of summative assessment. Summative assessments are what you are taking at the year end. Formative means your continuous evaluation. And I am going to discuss this in post-lunch session, that what kinds of different assessment tools you can apply in your department. And you will have a fun. You will have a fun, believe me. Okay, next. Now, I guess I would like to point only, put a stress on one point, and that is ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. And then I will finish my talk. Credit, one credit is equal to 1 hour, that you all know. If it is a practical, 2 hours is equal to 1 credit. So if you are teaching yoga to the students, for earning 1 credit, student has to perform 2 hours of work. Or you have to engage a session for 2 hours. If you are taking them to language lab, then again you will have to make sure it is of 2 hours for 1 credit. Now, as I said, that there is no question of overwork, or there is no question of surplus. How? Because they have given freedom that if you are overstressed with your work, if your workload is more, then offer them on online mode. 40% is allowed. And therefore, UGC is so clever that they have already created a platform for this in advance to help you out. Means, if you say, for example, in your college, as an English teacher, you are already given 20 lectures. Your principal has given you IKS sessions also, your principal has given you your all English lectures and communication lectures, and you have 20, and as per rule you are supposed to take 18 or 16 as the case may be. If you are involved in some administration work, then 2 hours of work can be reduced. So that 4 sessions can be offered to the students on online mode, for which they will have to register on Academic Bank of Credit first. I don't know how many of you already in your college you have already organized a session for this, But this is must. Without this, we will not be able to issue any kind of certification to the students. So make sure that all your colleges have registered, no, not colleges, students studying in your colleges have registered for the academic bank of credit. And once they will get, then you will have to train them that how to use, what is the importance of this. For major, they don't have to go to any other online portal. They have to learn in the college itself. But those actually, in my department, I don't allow students after 11 o'clock. Even they come 5 seconds late, I ask them to go. And today I face a lot of disturbance. So it's a learning. Okay, anyways. So basically, academic bank of credit, you have to train them, train your students that beta, this MOOC courses are available. If you do not want to study here, or if you are not, if you want to learn some other courses, it is available on SWAYAM portal. You can go and enroll yourself, and when he or she enrolls, the portal will ask for the ABC ID. And once they will enter the ABC ID, after completing the course, the credit will be deposited in their account. And then students can encash that credits. So beautiful. So beautiful. 50% of the credits he or she will have to complete in the college itself, and remaining 50% of the credit he or she can do it from any means recognized online portals. Very good. And therefore, you should also try to design this kind of credit framework. For example, જોશી સાહેબની કોલેજમાં એક પેપર નથી આપવામાં આવતું અને વકીલ સાહેબની કોલેજમાં એક પેપર આપવામાં આવે છે. સો જોશી સાહેબ કહેશે કે વકીલ સાહેબની કોલેજમાંથી એક કરી લો, ક્રેડિટ જમા થઈ જશે ઓનલાઈન હોય તો. So if you have such online courses on your website, which are already recognized by Gujarat University, and Gujarat University is already recognized by the UGC, there is no problem. You can start working, and only English faculty can do this. Because I know they are most sincere faculty. I have seen. Because they are into IQC, they are into NEP implementation, they are into ABC nodal officer, they are in everywhere. And all principal is always telling English department faculty to go and learn, because the level of understanding is more. कोई ट्रेटर નથી ને આ બીજા સબ્જેક્ટ. So yeah, so I hope all of you know the process of ABC. I'll tell you one thing. If you are finding some difficulty, Rolwala Center of Gujarat University can come to your place. You can invite them, and they will, help you out with this registration process. So those colleges have yet not registered for it. College students of the college have yet not registered are requested to please do this process as early as possible. With this, I am stopping here because you have to tolerate me for another 1 hour after post-match. And Professor Preeti has come all the way from Mumbai, and she is also supposed to deliver a session 1.5 hours. I can understand your level of tolerance. So once again, thank you for patience listening, and I'm again thankful to the team, the trustee sir, Ghate ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to share my views with all of you. Thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask. Yes, we can. Actually. actually, Solanki sir told me that we'll have, after your session, we'll have a 15 minutes, so, but I have taken more time. Thank you.
Friends, questions galore. There are more questions and less answers right now for us. We are having a break of only 5 minutes. We will assemble here within 5 minutes for the next debate session.
पॉज करिए ना मैं
पॉज नहीं होता लाइव क्या आदमी है एंड कर देते हैं इसको